I never wanted a red carpet rolled out when I came home. I wanted a fair shot.
But Jim Stanek and his wife Lindsay learned that playing fair isn't necessarily part of PTSD's game.
Just going out to eat was so freaking difficult, and it was a big shock for me. But I mean, things that I wouldn't even be able to pick up on as triggers would just suddenly, the whole night would turn and he wasn't there anymore.
But PTSD was there. And no matter how hard they try, the hundreds of thousands of veterans who battle that disorder can't get rid of it. But they can learn to live with it.
The longer you wait to treat your PTSD, the more those PTSD symptoms will start trickling into or complicating your lives.
Dr. Diane Castillo is the supervisory psychologist at the VA hospital in Albuquerque. Despite the negative investigation results we've seen regarding that administration,
Prolonged exposure.
Dr. Castillo believes
So the best therapy for PTSD is really in the VA.
And here's why. The VA specializes in both cognitive and exposure therapies, two proven ways of treating PTSD. Cognitive examines the veteran's thoughts, feelings, and behaviors, while exposure actually exposes the veteran to what he or she fears. She says the private sector might have expertise in one category, but usually not both. And while our lawmakers and state officials support the VA
is overwhelmed right now.
They're not comfortable with it being the only option for our veterans.
We have over almost 500 caregivers in the social and psychological care groups that have volunteered to give pro bono care to veterans who've just recently returned from Afghanistan and Iraq.
And New Mexico plans to expand that program. A $2 million grant will help create 4 resource centers, one in each quadrant of our state. Their purpose is to help veterans and their families connect with doctors, therapists, or support groups in their area, overcoming a major obstacle in helping our veterans in rural spots.
Well, I've introduced a bill.
Senator Tom Udall says that same forward thinking is happening on the national level with the Access to Care Act.
You need real experts who understand it and understand what the vet's been going through and what the vet's family's been going through, and we don't have enough of those people now.
But it's not just politicians and doctors helping our veterans. Some of the solutions come in the simplest ways.
This has been the hardest battle I've ever fought.
You want to play catch?
And Sarge,
You wanna play
Stanek's
catch?
service dog,
Ready?
has been his partner in this fight.
Sit.
In fact, Sarge did such a great job, she influenced the Staneks to create a service dog organization for veterans in Rio Rancho, Paws and Stripes.
You go to the pit and you watch Lobos basketball, and here's this vet that didn't want to ever be in a crowd like that, especially enclosed, and is sitting there chilling with one of his buddies and watching the game with their service dog.
While all of this help is there, you could be what really saves our heroes.
It takes a lot of bravery to say, I need help.
But sometimes, our bravest men and women are too afraid to take that first step alone.
It's one thing to say, hey, you need help. And then it's another to go, hey, by the way, I found a list of these 4 counselors that are local here. Why don't you give one of them a call? You want me? I'll take a ride down with you. Let's go get it figured out.
They fought for us, heading overseas with a duffel bag, dog tags, hope, and prayers.
What's in place when it stops? When the war is over, you're starting a new war front now.